Hello. Today we're going to do a historical unboxing. So inside of this old-timey luggage, I have historical items from World War I that I'm going to share with you. There's some that are reproductions. I think one of them is a reproduction, but most of them are actually from the time period. So I'm going to talk a little bit about them and actually show you up close what those look like. So join me on our little adventure in this unboxing. So our first item are shrapnel pellets. So these shrapnel pellets are from, reportedly, the Battle of Somme. So what would happen is they would load a shrapnel shell filled with these kinds of pellets. So these little pellets would be packed into a shrapnel shell, which would then be sent to the enemy, over to the enemy trenches. And when it would explode, it would send these pellets flying, and it would hit you, and you would be mortally wounded in many cases. In some cases, it would actually even just shatter your bones into pieces. And so it would be very difficult for you to be able to even rehabilitate your limb back to its original look. So for example, if you got hit by a bullet, you could reset your bone and eventually have your arm back to full function. But with shrapnel, it would cause the bone to actually shatter in many cases. And so this is an example of some shrapnel. In this particular one, this is also from the Somme, or reportedly from the Somme. We can't guarantee that it's actually from there because I have no historical evidence to say that it is or isn't. But in this particular one, you'll see the shrapnel bullets. You'll also see the casings that it would, some of them would have been held in, the bullets would have been held in. So you would have had gunpowder packed into these shells here. This is a reproduction. So you'll see here in the corner, this is a Victoria Cross reproduction. Obviously, I don't have a Victoria Cross. I didn't do anything heroic. But several Canadians throughout the course of World War I actually received the Victoria Cross for bravery, valor in World War I. And so Billy Bishop, for example, would be an example of a soldier who did receive the Victoria Cross. In the top corner, these are what's known as shoulder titles, and this is actually historical. This is an actual item that came from a soldier's uniform. And so the soldier's titles would have been on the sleeve of your shirt. These ones are from prior to 1915. So from 1915 onward, the difference you'll notice is that in the background of these shoulder titles, you would actually see a background. If you look closely at this one, you'll notice that it actually doesn't have a background. It's see-through. And so if you were wearing it on your shoulder, you would see the green wool of your jacket. So this would have been in all likelihood, from the period prior to 1915, when they started shifting over to the shoulder titles that had a background to it, or were more fabric based. This one is metal, and you can actually even see through to the back. These are ration tickets. So what would happen is you would be given your ration, and in this case, this is for meat. And so you would take this to your local butcher, and you would exchange your ration ticket token for meat product. And you would have a certain quantity of meat that you would be allowed to have over the course of a week or a month. And if you exceeded that, then you wouldn't be able to purchase any more for the remainder of that time. So you need to make sure that you rationed your food, rationed your meat more carefully, so that you don't go through all of your tokens quickly. These next two are actually from World War II, but it actually gives you a sense of what the rations would have looked like in World War II. So I just wanted to kind of show it to you just so you can get a sense of what they looked like. This one here, the pink one, is from a child. The brown one is from an adult. And inside of here, you will actually see stamps. And so the same kind of principle applies to this that applied to these ration tokens. You would give your stamps for things like butter or milk products or meat products or gasoline, petrol at this point in time, because more people were driving cars in World War II. And you would give them your ration ticket in exchange for food items or for things that are being rationed, like let's say wool or something like that, right? Nylon would have been rationed for parachuters, of course. That would be a good example. For children, if you're the mother, you would take your children's ration tickets and you would then purchase the goods on behalf of your child. And so your child would have a certain number of portions entitled to them. And again, once you exhausted those tickets, then that was all you had for the duration of that time that was available to you. If you look a little bit closer at the ration cards, you'll see that these are from Saskatchewan, and you can even still see the name of the person and persons who originally owned these ration cards. So I hope you enjoyed our little unboxing. It's a little short video to give you a sense of what life was like in World War I during the war, and the types of things that people at the time would have had to experience and face. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon.